In the past 20 years, Sevilla has cemented its place as one of the most successful clubs in Spanish football. The team has won numerous trophies, including 6 Europa League titles, 2 Copa del Reys, and 1 UEFA Super Cup. Sevilla have also consistently produced top-quality players, with many of its former players going on to have successful careers at other top clubs. Players like Dani Alves, Sergio Ramos, and Jules Koundé have all broken through to the first team of Sevilla FC. However, it's not just the quality of players and coaches that contribute to a club's success. In recent years, we have seen many clubs have brief periods of success before returning to mediocrity, such as Deportivo La Coruña, Malaga, and Schalke 04. This highlights the importance of having a consistent and long-term approach to success. One key factor in a club's sustained success is a strong technical director. Enter Ramón Rodríguez Verdejo, also known as Monchi. Monchi has been the driving force behind Sevilla's recent successes, and his transfer policy, club culture development, and team-building strategies have all played a crucial role in the team's success. Monchi's impact on Sevilla cannot be understated, and his expertise and leadership have made him one of the most important figures in Spanish football. In this video, we break down how Monchi transformed Sevilla into such a successful club. But first, make sure to subscribe to our channel for more football-related content and in-depth analysis. And if you like the video already, please make sure to click on the like button. Monchi, who was mostly a second goalkeeper in the 90s, playing most of his career for Sevilla B and Sevilla, retired at the age of 30 in 1999. After his career, Monchi started a career in law, but in 2000 he was approached to become the technical director of Sevilla. Having zero experience, and without even knowing what a technical director does, he still accepted the offer. When Monchi joined Sevilla in 2000 as the club's sporting director, the club had a budget of around 18 million euros. Now, about 2 decades later, the annual budget has increased to 212 million euros. Of course, football has developed even more into a multi-million-dollar business in the years, but Sevilla has also contributed to this a lot by excellent scouting and selling players for a high transfer fee. In a 13-part masterclass on Sevilla's YouTube channel, Monchi explains the structure of the club. The sporting director calls it a modelo mixto. There is not one manager or president who decides everything. The president determines the budget, the coach determines the profile of the player he wants, and with this information, Monchi and his scouts search for the right reinforcement. His transfer policy has been a major factor in Sevilla's success, particularly in the Europa League, where the club has won a record-breaking 5 titles in the past decade. Monchi's transfer strategy focuses on finding players who are not necessarily the most expensive, but who have the potential to succeed in the team's environment and who understand the club's philosophy and style of play. This has seen him bring in players from all over the world, many of whom have gone on to become stars of the game. Sevilla's scouting process starts in the summer, when the season has yet to begin. All scouts are assigned a major competition, such as Serie A or the Bundesliga, 2 lower-level competitions, like the Dutch or Mexican League, and a number of smaller countries, such as Peru or Bolivia, to follow. The major competitions are obviously followed more intensively than the smaller ones. The scouts watch the first rounds of matches on television and create a short list of interesting players. They then go to see the players on that list live and give them a rating from A, top target, to D, let go. Players with an A or B rating are further analysed. In the fall, the scouts come together and each present a team of the best players from the competitions they have followed. Therefore, there must be a player at each position, even if someone is not immediately needed there. From all those teams, Monchi and his team then create an ideal team with 11 replacements for the players currently on the field. Does a scout from Serie A put Cristiano Ronaldo on his list? No, that's not how it works. Players must also be attainable. For example, João Felix was removed from Sevilla's list early on when he was still playing for Benfica. Larger, wealthier clubs also had interest, so Sevilla had to give up. After this round, the scouts change competitions so that a fresh perspective is gained and perhaps more potential purchases are added to the list. Between July and December, Sevilla follows around 3,000 players worldwide, Monchi said during one of his masterclasses. That group becomes smaller during the season. In March, there are about 500 players left, after which Monchi and his team filter them. Which players are still too expensive, too difficult to get away, or don't have the right character. In April or May, there is a list left with about 8 to 9 players per position that are interesting. Only then does Monchi start working to get them. One of the characteristics of Monchi's scouting is the use of big data, such as Y-Scout and Opta. According to Monchi, he uses big data for scouting, preventing injuries, and on the transfer market. Do we buy players purely based on data? Absolutely not. But I also don't want to buy a player purely based on images. Statistics do help you avoid risks. Let's say we have 1,000 central defenders in view all over the world, but I only want players who are good in the air and win a lot of aerial duels. With the help of data, I can then eliminate a whole lot of other players. Then it's about what is good in the air in this case. I can, for example, look at the percentage of aerial duels won. All players with 60% or higher, those remain. I already said it, you have to know what you want. A technical director is not only responsible for scouting and recruiting players, but also for youth development. Sevilla'S youth academy is highly regarded in Europe, and Monchi wants to keep it that way. Monchi does not take all the credit and emphasizes in one of the masterclass about the club's academy that there are many more people than just him who are important for that department. I will try to explain it, but in general terms, because otherwise we will go very deep, Monchi began. For example, there is a separate department that monitors the development of talents based on motor skills, strength, data via GPS, and physical development. Then there is the recruitment department. 16 people work there who constantly monitor everything, which we believe is crucial for the club. We have almost mapped out all of Spain in terms of youth football, but we try to focus particularly on Sevilla and Andalusia. That's where successful players come from, as history has shown. Ramos, Reyes, Navas, you name them. In addition, you keep a player close to his familiar environment. We want to take as few players as possible out of their familiar environment. Another important aspect is the personal relation the club has with their players. The director does everything he can to make players feel at home as soon as possible. When Luc de Jong transferred from PSV 2 years ago, it was probably also explained to him that it is not wise to buy a green car. Green is the colour of rival and city neighbour Real Betis. A player should not have any excuses for not performing optimally. Monchi is not only there to bring in players, but also to make sure they quickly adapt to their new environment. I don't just deal with footballers, but with people. That is really important. In European football, Monchi is known as a transfer magician, a wonder doer. He thinks that is not a big deal. He still makes mistakes, and it's certainly not the case that everything he touches turns to gold. I do my job, Monchi said in an interview with The Athletic. There are other much more successful technical directors in the football world with a better career. I have the luck that I've been able to learn a lot at this club. You should never think that you are better than anyone else and always strive for improvement. I've learned a lot from Luis Aragonés, who was my coach at Sevilla for 2 years. He always used to say, "Don't walk around with your chest out, because someone might break it." That's how you should be, humble and constantly looking to improve. Very humble words for one of the most successful sporting directors in football history. Who knows how far his success can reach? Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more.